The Australian Grand Prix was filled with a whole bunch of crazy shit, so let's go over it. Number one, qualifying was an absolute incredible cinematic masterpiece. And by that I mean Max Verstappen got slammed into a fucking wall over a mechanical error. The Mercedes engineers were on some Colombian Bam Bam and took this and turned it into this, and Kimi Antonelli was able to go into qualifying with like a few minutes to spare because Max Verstappen slammed into a fucking wall during qualifying. And then there was like a 30-second gap or something crazy between the Mercedes and the rest of the grid. That illegal engine is doing wonders for them, and the cocaine that they're sniffing in that fucking garage. And then you have the sprint race, which was just boring, if I'm being... And then we move to the actual race. Now, the actual race was very, very entertaining for 2 laps. And then it was just Mercedes and Ferrari. I have my notes here. Oh, yeah. It was just Mercedes and Ferrari just going back and forth. And let me make this point. Let me make this extremely clear here, right? Ferrari did very good. They held first and second for 15 laps of that race until Ferrari decided that they were just going to fuck their strategy again. But hold on. Ferrari did get third and fourth. And for Ferrari, okay, if you've been a Formula 1 fan for more than 8 minutes, you know that Ferrari fucking sucks. And so, I don't know. Third and fourth, Ferrari... good, but could have been better given the fact that they were P1 and P2 for like the first 15 laps of the race. And that basically sums up the Ferrari situation. But other than the Ferrari Mercedes constantly re-overtaking each other, then you have Max Verstappen going from P20 because he didn't have a time for qualifying, so he started on P20 and worked his way all the way to P6. So that Australian Grand Prix was a highlight reel for Max Verstappen's 2026 season as he overtook a little bit over 14 times. I think that's the math, right? He didn't get a podium, but then again, in like 58 laps, he was able to overtake over half the grid. So that's some Max Verstappen ass shit. Speaking of Red Bull, the second Red Bull seat curse continues with Isaac Hadjar doing good for a rookie, and then DNF. Mechanical failure, just like Max Verstappen in qualifying. So overall, thumbs down for that. But the curse continues for the second Red Bull seat. Speaking of DNFs, almost every fucking team had one. Cadillac, Bottas, Aston Martin, I think Alonso, Red Bull, Isaac Hadjar, and Piastri fucking slammed his wall into his car. Wow. Slammed his car into a wall before the race, and the McLaren engineers couldn't pull a Mercedes and fix the car. So, yeah, Piastri wasn't even in the race. Bottas came out in like halfway through the race, and then Isaac Hadjar was like 3/4 through the race, and his car just fucking exploded. Which brings me to my next point, which is this. These new rules suck. As Leclerc so famously put it, it's like a mushroom in Mario Kart. No one likes these new rules. Max Verstappen thinks it's anti-racing. Even Lando Norris has people agreeing with him. And if you know anything about F1, if you have people agreeing with Lando Norris, okay, all right, you're saying something that cannot be disagreed with, okay? If you got people agreeing with Lando Norris. So, yeah, all the racers hate this new push to overtake shit. And honestly, I am too. Honestly, I am sick of it. Tired of it. And we've only had one race. The fans don't like it. The racers don't like it. The engineers, I don't know if the engineers like it. I'm assuming they don't fucking like it. I'm assuming. full of assumptions. But yeah, I mean, the overall the race was cool for like a little bit, and then it just wasn't after like the fifth lap. Because if you're unfamiliar, they made it to where the battery is like 50% of the car's power, which usually is reserved for Formula E electric. Just shaking my head, honestly. I don't really have a whole much to say on this topic aside from the fact that I don't like it, because it's not racing. We didn't see any racing. And Formula One's about racing. We didn't see any racing. We saw George Russell press the overtake button. We saw Leclerc press the overtake button. We saw George Russell press the overtake button. We saw Charles Leclerc press the overtake button. We saw George Russell press the overtake button. Hamilton and Antonelli fucking each other up. But yeah, Mercedes finished 1 and 2. George Russell being 1, Kimi Antonelli being 2. Which, by the way, congrats, Kimi. That is phenomenal. Even if your engine is illegal, that takes talent. More than I have in my entire body. But yeah, and then you have the McLarens. I don't even want to talk about that. That's fucking ridiculous. How are you... Why is McLaren 30 seconds behind a fucking Ferrari? That's wrong. That's not right. That's not what F1's about, people. Talking to you, McLaren engineers, get your fucking shit straight. Speaking of engineers, one of the worst engineers out on the paddock is the Cadillac engineers. Their debut was this last race, and not only did one of their cars have a mechanical failure in Bottas's car, but Perez was just doing doing all right at best. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to yap about this last Australian Grand Prix. It was nothing to remember, aside from the fact that these rules fucking suck.